Hello everybody, welcome back to another awesome Versus Series episode where we pit two powerhouses head to head. Sometimes it's pizza, sometimes it's pretzels, sometimes it's attractions. And today, it's going to be the powerhouse Big Thunder Mountain Railroad here at Magic Kingdom versus the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So let's get started and see which one comes out on top. We are in Frontierland and we are headed over to the wildest ride in the wilderness, aka otherwise known as Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. One of my favorite rides of all time. I just love this ride. I think it's a great ride. It's basically, the premise of it is it's a runaway railroad, or runaway train. Is that what you say? Train or railroad? Whatever. A runaway train on railroad tracks, and it is such a cool ride. This incarnation of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad was created in 1980. It's the second of 4 Big Thunder Mountain Railroads. There's 4 of these things around the world. The first one was obviously in Disneyland, the second one here in Walt Disney World, and it is an awesome ride. One of the things that I always find really interesting about this ride is the sound effects. Yeah. Did you know that the sound effects, if you ride this ride and you pay attention, you'll notice that a lot of the sound effects that are used in this ride are also used in the movie Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And you would think that this ride used sound effects from Temple of Doom, but it in fact is the other way around. The movie Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, they were trying to find sound effects for their movie, and they kept trying to recreate all these sound effects, and they were like, man, these just don't sound nearly as good as the sound effects that they used at Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. So they took them, with permission, from Walt Disney World and used them actually in their movie. So that's pretty awesome. And the other thing I'll mention is that, in my opinion, this ride is better at nighttime than it is during the daytime. So I don't know, we may wait until it gets dark to ride this, we'll see. It might be better for the video if it's during the daytime, but it'll be better for us if it's at nighttime. And I want to give it a fair comparison, so we'll see. There's also one other cool Easter egg on this ride, and that is there is an interactive queue. There's a series of buttons and wheels and things that you can push in a specific order, and it will cause a steam explosion out there on the railroad. It's pretty cool. A lot of people don't know how to do it, but there is actually an instruction sign when you first walk in, if you pay attention in the queue, that tells you exactly how to do it. We are in line for Big Thunder Mountain, and we did ultimately decide that we wanted to wait until it was nighttime to ride it, because I just think it's so much better. It feels faster to me at nighttime. It's just better effects. I think it's a cool thing. So we're hanging out in your line. It said it was only maybe a 20-minute wait, so we should be getting on here real soon. The line's moving really quickly. I feel like it usually does move quick. Even though there was a lot of people in line for Lightning Pass, it's still moving pretty good. So right here is the secret instructions I was telling you about. Check dial on the crank. If dial reads crank, turn crank. Crank until arrow reaches blast. Lift, then push down plunger. Look up and oversee explosion. Now, I will be honest, it is hard to pull that off because of one reason and one reason alone. Well, two. One, it's hard to remember all the stuff that you got to do, so I highly recommend taking a picture of it on your phone and then you remember. Secondly, the problem is if there's other people further up in the line messing with the dials and cranks, it won't work. It messes up the whole sequence. So it's best to try to do that when there's not anybody in line. Or when there's not very many people in line, you got a better chance of doing it. Which unfortunately isn't very often, because there's usually a lot of people in line. Here we are, the wildest ride in the wilderness! Woo-hoo! And we're in the back. I mean, come on, right? I don't know why the 2 seats behind us are empty, but whatever. I'm so excited, and it's dark out. It's nighttime, it's dark out, I'm pumped. Woohoo! Here we go! right, we got a breather here in the middle of this. Going up the second hill now. Number 2 here. Number 2. We got some light.
Reminds me of, what's the ride? Kings Island. This part always makes me think of it.
Oh, Amazon, wait.
That's what I wanted to call it.
What?
Adventure Express.
Adventure Express. I need a breather from that. That was tough. That was tough. I'll tell you, at nighttime and in the back, it's money. It's money. It's so much better.
I was afraid he's gonna lose the camera.
I thought I was gonna lose it there for a minute. Whoa. Woo! We are on our way to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which I think is a really cool addition for Fantasyland. It's kind of the anchor attraction, I feel like, for the area of the park. It was created and built in 2014 when they basically reinvented Fantasyland. And they added attractions like the Voyage of the Little Mermaid. They added Be Our Guest, the restaurant, Gaston's Tavern. When they added all that stuff, they added Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is very similar to Big Thunder Mountain, but it does go 2 miles an hour less than Big Thunder Mountain. Big Thunder Mountain goes 36 miles an hour. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train goes 34. One of the things that I really like about Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is that the actual cars themselves that you sit in swing independently of the actual roller coaster itself. So when you're going around turns, it does this sort of rocking motion, which I think is a really cool addition. One of the other great things I think about this ride is the Easter eggs that it has in it, because this area replaced Snow White's Scary Adventures. When that was sort of removed, they actually took some of the figurines, like Snow White and some of the Seven Dwarfs, and they actually put them in the ride. So if you take a look and you pay attention at the end of the ride, you'll see some very familiar characters and figures from that ride. This is one of my favorite parts of the queue. And depending on how long the line is, you don't actually get to walk past this part all the time. I think it's really cute though. Just like Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, we think that Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is much better at nighttime. It feels like you're going faster, it's just a cooler experience. I really dig it. So we waited until nighttime. We wanted to give it a fair comparison to Big Thunder. I like all the cool little gems, these little rotating barrels that make cute things on the ceiling up there. I think it's really neat. We are about to get on. I am super pumped. We don't really ride this ride very often, to be honest. It's actually been quite a while since we've ridden this. Man, it's really dark in here. Up and away. Here we go.
I'm yawning.
Woo. I mean, it's late. Whoa, already into it. Here we go. Woo! Oh, wow. All right, what a blast that was. We had a lot of fun riding those rides. We rang Big Thunder Mountain, then we rode Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, both of which were awesome rides. It's going to be really hard to score. We've got to score this on 3 different dimensions. The only way we're going to be able to do it. I can't just do, I think this one's better, or I think this one's better. If we just use our opinion, I don't think we're going to be able to pull it out. We're going to have to do, basically we're going to have to score it on 3 different dimensions in order to be totally fair. So the first one we're going to talk about is something that I feel like most people don't really think about when it comes to theme park attractions, and it's wait time. I think wait time is a critical factor in how much of a powerhouse ride it is and how good the ride actually is. And so if we look at, let's start with Big Thunder Mountain. Wait time. I mean, we didn't really wait for either one of these rides, to be honest, based on when we rode them. We waited less than 20 minutes for both rides. So, but I have to say, from a wait time perspective, usually Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is going to be a lot longer wait than Big Thunder Mountain.
Yeah.
I'd say by at least about double. Yeah. So we're talking maybe 20 or 30 average for Big Thunder Mountain, and we're talking probably 60-minute average for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So what ends up happening is we don't actually ride Seven Dwarfs Mine Train nearly as much as we ride Big Thunder Mountain.
Yeah.
So I'd say out of a score of 1 to 10 for wait time, 10 being great, meaning if it gets a score of a 10, that means that the wait time is not really that bad. If it gets a score of a 1, then that means that the wait time is usually pretty rough. And I'm going to say for Big Thunder Mountain wait time, I'm going to give it maybe a 7. What are you going to give it?
Wait time, Big Thunder Mountain? I'd say a 7 is a good.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say 7 for wait time. But for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, I'm probably going to give wait time maybe a 2.
Oh, yeah.
Because I really think
I
think it's, honestly, I feel like the ride is way overrated for the wait times that you end up having to wait for.
Yeah, for sure.
So unfortunately, it's getting dinged for me. So I said a 2. What did you say?
I said a 1 or a 2.
A 1 or a 2? Which one? You got to pick one.
I'd say a 1.
So you say a 1. Wow, that's rough. That's rough. So you're giving it a 1. I'm giving it a 2. Now let's talk about the theming of the rides. I'm gonna do Big Thunder Mountain. I think I love the theme of it. It's kind of like that runaway, train on railroad tracks. And I'm gonna give it maybe like a 5 for theme for me. I think it's a 5. What do you think?
I feel like I should get to pick first because you keep picking my numbers. I would say a 5.
Okay, well you can pick next. Okay. So we both say 5 for theme for Big Thunder Mountain. What about Seven Dwarfs Mine Train?
I would give it a 7. I think it's cute. Especially at night.
Yeah. I give it an 8. I think it's like an 8. So we did 5 and 5 and we did 7 and 8. Okay. Now let's talk about fun factor. This could also be thrill, like the thrill ride or fun factor depending on the type of ride. I think for fun factor, what would you say fun factor for Big Thunder Mountain? Scale 1 to 10.
I would say it's a 7. At night.
I think at nighttime I'm going to give it a 7. I think I'm going to give it a 7 as well.
Yeah.
A 7, yeah. And for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, what do you give it?
A 4.
I give it a 5. Yeah, I think it's pretty decent. So let's go back over the numbers. So we've got Big Thunder Mountain for wait time is a 7 and a 7. We've got Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is a 2 and a 1. We've got theme is 5 and a 5. And we've got for Big Thunder Mountain for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, it's an 8 and a 7. For fun factor, we both gave it a 7 for Big Thunder Mountain. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train got a 5 and a 4. So when we tally that all up and we average it out, it looks like the clear winner of the day is Big Thunder Mountain, coming in at a 6.3, and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train only being at a 4.5. And I'll tell you, they were probably a lot closer than those numbers sound, but the wait time really dragged it down.
Yeah.
So overall, I'd say the two rides are pretty comparable, pretty similar. I mean, I like both rides. I think they're both fun. It's just the fact that there's really never a wait time for Big Thunder Mountain, and there's always a horrendous wait time for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I got to give it to Big Thunder Mountain. It's winner. It's the winner. You agree?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you agree.
I already knew before I wrote it.
Kind of knew it. I already knew it was going to head that way. I like both rides, but Big Thunder Mountain coming out on top. So there you have it. There's our versus episode between Big Thunder Mountain and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Kind of knew where this one was going to go, but still wanted to play it out. We wanted to give them a shot. We wanted to be equal. We rode them both at nighttime. We did all the scoring. Came out on top. Big Thunder Mountain rocks. You've got to give it a try. So that's the king or the queen, however you want to look at it. Either way, Big Thunder Mountain wins the day. So we hope you've enjoyed this episode. Be sure to check out all of our other content. We got other Versus episodes out there for food and other rides and attractions. Lots of other stuff coming your way. Until tomorrow, thanks for joining us the Noble Way.
It's the easy way.
Bye-bye, everybody.